Hello, home builders. Today is day 89, the penultimate day of our reading through the Time Out for Parents book in our daily devotions. And today is titled Devoted to God's Will. There's a passage that's referenced here, John chapter 4, 31 through 34, and I'll just read it. It says, In the meanwhile, his disciples prayed him, saying, Master, eat. But he said unto them, I have meat to eat that ye know not of. Therefore said the disciples to one another, Hath any man brought him aught to eat? Jesus saith unto them, My meat is to do the will of him that sent me, and to finish his work. And then there's another example given about William Booth, the founder of the Salvation Army, and his family that all were involved in the ministry, and this very talented granddaughter that he had, and she was stricken with an illness, and someone said, it's such a shame for someone who's so talented and that could do so much for the Lord. And her response was, it is great to do the Lord's work, but it is greater to do the Lord's will. And that's an awesome quote. We need to be teaching our children to seek God's will at an early age so that it becomes second nature. We can fall into the trap all of the time of second guessing what other people are doing, saying, well, I could do this better. I would have done it this way, and things like that. And also this assumption that the way that we would do it would be the best way, so we should just take up everything and do everything. Well, that's not necessarily God's will. Just because we can does not mean that we should. What we should do is to do exactly what God's will for our lives is, because He never makes a mistake, even if it results in chastisement, even if it results in a little bit of pain, or a lot of pain. God never makes a mistake, and we need to have faith in that. We need to be teaching our children that. It says here, it concludes, when we want what God wants more than anything else, then our lives will remain on track. By teaching our children that God's will is more important than our comfort, our priorities, and even our dreams, we prepare them to be useful in His service. It's a tough thing to teach children. We want the best for our kids, right? I mean, we want them to make a great wage. We want them to have nice things. We want them to be successful. I can remember when I was growing up in my family, it was unquestioned. I was going to college. They didn't necessarily demand, what I do for a career, but in my family, and I think it's due to the fact that my father did one semester of college and got out. The fact that he and my mom struggled so much for my mom to make it through college, that it was unquestioned that I was going to go to college. We want what's best for our children, what we think is best for our children. The reality is, sometimes God has a different plan, and we need to be sensitive to that. We need to not be closed-minded about what may be lying ahead. We need to not be fearful about what God's will may be. We simply need to seek God's will. Model that and teach it to our children. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow for the last day.